let's move on. It's trial time. Time to hear a testimony from the old man on the lake. It's the third day, I believe, so I guess this is a final trial, right? Final court trial thing. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well, apparently the prosecution is also ready. Who is the judge here anyway? Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Very well, no opening statement, so...
Not so fast, Judge. Always taking a meaningful pause before speaking.
Right, of course.
A prediction. Today's trial will end 3 minutes from now.
That's a pretty quick trial.
Order. Mr. Von Karma, what's the meaning of your statement just now? Bah, must you question everything? It will be over in 3 minutes. We have no time to waste. I'll call my witness now.
Right.
I call my witness, my decisive witness, to the stand.
It's that mysterious boat shop owner.
Witness, state your profession.
The proprietor of the restaurant, this Wet Noodle at Court Lake. And I also ran boats.
The night of the incident, you were in the boat rental shop, correct?
Yep, I was.
Please testify.
Wait a second. We still haven't heard who this old guy is. I don't know if it matters. I'm gonna let it so if we object, I'm gonna imagine it's he's gonna be like, objection! I object your objection. We don't know who he is, doesn't matter. Whatever. He still saw the incident. So I feel like I gotta let it slide. I don't know. On second thought, I guess it doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter? What are you thinking, Nick? What if that old man has something to do with the DL6 incident? If we don't find out who he is, we won't be able to build a case here. Okay, maybe not. Oh, okay. Maya's here to stop me from my dumb mistakes. Wait a minute. The witness hasn't said his name yet.
Because I did not ask him, Mr. Wright. Bah. I predicted this trial will end in 3 minutes. Stop asking trivial questions and cooperate.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, that's what happened. He just... Well, the witness will state his name.
Well, I'm not really sure.
What do you mean?
My memory.
Your Honor, the witness does not remember anything beyond the last several years. Ergo, he cannot recall his own name.
You can't recall, you say?
Yes, but the incident in question took place 3 days ago. Not 3 years ago, 3 days ago. He can testify.
Very well. Let's hear this testimony then, shall we, witness? Okay, so maybe it is relevant, the fact that he can't remember his own name. That's pretty relevant, I think.
It was the night of the 24th, just after midnight. I was in the restaurant where I read boats as usual. Then I heard a bang. When I looked out the window, I saw a boat just floating on the lake. Then I heard another bang. Just about then, the boat comes back to shore and a man walks by my window.
Very well. I'd like to begin the cross-examination. There's nothing to question in my witness's testimony. Ergo, no need for cross-examination. Besides, there's only 10 seconds before the 3 minutes are up. Judge, your verdict, now.
He just wants to end it so quickly. Yes. Mr. Wright? I'm gonna fucking cross-examine, what are you talking about? What do you say? Of course I'll cross-examine the witness. Very well, you may begin. Excuse me, Mr. Von Karma?
3 minutes just passed.
I see. Well then, let's just take our time. You may cross-examine the witness. Okay. He screamed at us like a weirdo. Let me just look to, okay, I gotta pay attention to the details before we go, before we get to the point where I can't look at the court record anymore. So let me just take my time a little. So we have the attorney badge, the camera faces the lake, takes a picture every time there's a loud noise. Autopsy report is a little vague, sometime 24th or 25th, and the gunshot came from a meter away. There's this photo, person holding a gun in his left hand, shooting a gun's a flash. Empty lake photo that was taken at 11:50 p.m. The first bang, supposedly. There's an old photograph of Misty Faye. I don't know why we still have that. I guess this is related to DL6. Gordy Lake map. Okay, this is where Lotta is. This is where the old man is. This is where Samurai Dogs is. And apparently the murder took place around here. There's a bullet, and the bullet was found in the victim's body, and the ballistic markings match the murder weapon's barrel. So it has to have come from this gun. The murder weapon, the .22 caliber. It was fired 3 times, and it has Edgeworth's fingerprints, at least on his right hand. But as we've learned over here, it's questionable whether this is Edgeworth because it's on the left hand, not the right hand, so it makes no sense. Why would he erase fingerprints from his left hand when there's still fingerprints on his right hand? Weird. Lotta's disposition heard 2 sounds of gunshots after midnight. 2 sounds of gunshots after midnight. Interesting. But, well, I don't know if this is useful. It's like this metal detector. I use this metal detector on you. Now, is Polly? I guess is relevant. Maybe, I don't know. DL6? Isn't it photo from DL6? Night after midnight, just after midnight. Just after midnight, you say?
Just around then.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure, yep.
When I talked to you yesterday, you were rather vague about the time. I'm surprised you seem so sure about it today.
I asked him and he remembered. Isn't that right?
Don't glare at me like that. I remember it clearly, I did.
You see? Continue.
We're at boats, as usual. Is there anyone who can verify that?
Well, I guess Polly could.
That's not good enough for a court of law. Mr. Wright, exactly what's not good enough. Your Honor, this Polly is a parrot. A parrot?
I'll be on so hard on the girl, Keefy boy.
Keef?
The prosecution concedes that we cannot prove the witness was in the shop. Witness, please continue.
Okay, he actually concedes something. That's weird. That's, out of character for Von Karma. Usually he's so certain about everything. And where did the bang seem to come from?
From the lake, I figure. Are you certain?
Yep.
Good.
Okay. I saw a boat just floating on the lake. Was there someone in the boat?
It was pretty far out there, I couldn't see clearly. But I figured there was 2 men out there.
But you couldn't see them clearly?
Yep. At the time, that is.
At the time. Heard another bang? So you heard 2 gunshots total?
Yep.
That's what Lotta said in her testimony yesterday.
Just about then, the boat comes back to shore and a man walks by my window.
By your window?
Yeah, by my window, right outside the window of my little shack.
And could you see the man's face?
Well, the fog was pretty darn thick, but he was right there in front of me. I saw him.
This is rather important detail. Please add it to your testimony.
I have a bad feeling about this.
That man was the defendant. He was saying, I can't believe he's dead.
Are you sure? Uh-oh. Dad! Dad, hello?
That's certain, Keith. He said, I can't believe he's dead, as he was walking by, too.
Witness, are you sure that the person you saw was Miles Edgeworth?
It was him, that Edgeworth boy.
This sounds like decisive evidence indeed. I see no room for doubt.
On karma. He lured me into a cross-examining so he could set me up for a fall.
Tisk tisk tisk.
Tisk tisk tisk. Well, either it's tisk 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 or I don't know. I'm like doing that. I don't know. Doesn't sound dramatic enough. Anyway, Nick, I don't like the way things are going here. Everyone in the courtroom is glaring at us. I better act quick or this trial is gonna be over.
Raise an objection.
Your Honor, we proved in yesterday's trial that it couldn't have been Edgeworth who fired that gun.
Mr. Wright, are you referring to the fingerprints from Edgeworth's right hand found on the gun, and the photograph showing a man fire with his left hand?
Exactly.
That is easily explainable. He could have wiped his prints after he fired. You are ignoring the truth of the matter here. Everything is in this witness testimony is true.
The judge is lost in thought. What should I do? Your Honor, the witness this witness claims that Edgeworth said, I can't believe he's dead. But his word is all we have. If you were telling a lie...
Mr. Wright, in the court of law, the evidence tells us all. Apparently, you have yet to realize even this basic fact. If you say his testimony is a lie, show us proof.
There's nothing that showed that... I don't know. Nick, do we have evidence? It's no good. There's nothing I can do. Are you sure? To be honest, I don't know what to do anymore. Please. Can you hear me, sis? Please. We need your help. Nick needs you.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. 3 minutes was perhaps too high an expectation. However, 15 minutes isn't bad. This must be a new record.
Enough. The witness may leave the stand.
This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial, nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts.
What? No!
This court finds the defendant Mr. Miles Edgeworth.
I guess we lose. The accused was surrendered to the court immediately. We held a pending trial at a higher court within a month from today's date. That is all. The score is adjourned. Oh, I guess we lost. Nani? Wait!
Who was that just now?
Me! Huh? Who? Ah! Larry?
What are you doing here?
Listen, you gotta listen to me. I was there in the park the night of the murder. I wasn't sure about it until just yesterday, but today I remembered it.
Remembered what?
The gunshot. I heard it too.
The order. What is the meaning of this? The verdict has been decided. I call for adjournment. One moment, Mr. Von Karma. So you say you heard a gunshot? Yeah, I did, a gunshot that night. I was sitting here in the audience listening to the testimony. Then I realized something he said was different from what I remember. Anyhow, I can't just sit here and let you call Edgy a murderer. It's just not right. I'll testify. Let me testify.
Larry to the rescue. Apparently.
Order, order. Well, this is the first time something has happened like this in my court. I'm not quite sure how to proceed. Judge, you've already given your decision.
Oops, press the wrong button.
The trial is over.
Nick, this is it. Larry's given us one final chance at this. She's right. If only it wasn't Larry. He could make things even worse. Mr. Edgeworth was just declared guilty, Nick. It doesn't get any worse. You're right. Okay. Your Honor, if there's another witness, it is our duty to hear him speak. Right here, right now.
A waste of time. A verdict cannot be overturned.
Allow me to speak my opinion. In all court proceedings, it is our duty to prevent an inaccurate verdict. In order to make sure no mistake has been made, every witness should be heard.
What is this?
I withdraw my previous verdict of guilty. Mr. Von Karma, I order you to call this new witness to testify. Now.
What?
The court will adjourn for a 5-minute recess. After that, we will hear this new witness. Court is adjourned. Okay. It's not a game over after all. That was too close. Sorry to keep you on the edge of your seat like that, Edgeworth. I've seen worse. Yeah, right, Edgeworth, you're sweating bullets. I just wondered what Larry plans to say in there. Larry was at the lake that night. Yes. He said he went looking for the steel samurai balloon that flew into the lake. Oh, right. And he found the balloon in the air tank that night? Yeah. Hey, Edgeworth.
You say something, right?
Yeah, a lot of things. You seem out of it. What's wrong?
It's nothing.
Mr. Edgeworth? There's something I've been meaning to ask you.
What's that?
Why are your fingerprints on the murder weapon?
Oh.
When he fell into the lake, I went into a daze. I couldn't understand what had happened. I couldn't think straight. Then I saw the pistol lying on the floor of the boat in front of me. I picked it up without thinking. I didn't have a reason, really. I see.
Right.
Yeah? This might be our chance. Our chance? Von Karma has only ever run perfect trials. Perfect trials? Perfectly prepared witnesses, perfectly complete evidence. And that's the secret to his success. This is the first time he's ever had to deal with something unexpected. He has to let someone he hasn't even talked to testify before the court. And that someone is Larry. What are you getting at? It's likely his testimony will be full of holes, right? Oh, that's right, Nick. No 10-minute trial this time. We'll milk this one for all it's worth. Hey, it was 15 minutes. 15! Everything's on Larry now. Yep. We're gonna have to just, let Larry win us the case, maybe. I don't know. Court is now back in session. Witness. Please testify to the court about everything that you saw on the night of December 24th. Right, leave it to me. Please, Larry, don't mess this one up. I hate to admit it, but you're our last chance. You're my only hope. Von Karma didn't even have time to prep his witness. I just hope Edgeworth is right about this being a big break. That night, I was on the boat on the lake. I was looking for something, and I found it. So I quietly slipped the boat back into the rental shop dock. Then, just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't see a boat. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. That was an unusually vague testimony, even for this court. In any case, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. What's wrong, Nick? Well, it's Larry. I have no idea what he's going to say if I press him. I'm a little scared. Well, we've come this far. There's no way to go but forward, Nick. I don't know. Am I gonna lose, like, health points if I press him at the wrong time? Let's see. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? There were so many things wrong, I don't even know where to begin. Well, okay. First of all, what time was it? Oh, it was after 11 when I went out on the boat. By that time, everyone had gone home for the night. So I waited until the coast was clear, so to speak. And why were you out on the boat at such a late hour? Was looking for something? What did you find? Looking for something. Yeah.
Mr. Butts, what was it you were looking for? What the witness was searching for is irrelevant. Most likely he was hunting for this Gordy.
That's surprisingly close to the truth, in a sense.
This is all irrelevant. Let's get it over with.
Finally slipped back in the boat in the rental shop dock. Around what time was that? Well, let's see. I figured I was out searching for about an hour. I guess it was around 12 o'clock. Yeah, midnight.
You're not sure?
Hey, don't give me that face. I'm not some sort of human sundial, okay? People use watches these days, Larry. Well, ironically, people don't use watches, like in 2019, you know? I imagine most people have phones instead, not actual, like, wristwatches. Then, just listening, well, I heard a bang. Where did the sound come from? Yeah, well, I wasn't too sure about that. I looked around, you know?
Did you look at the lake?
Yeah, I looked. Over the lake, but I didn't see a boat. Wasn't there a boat on the lake? Order, order. Well, Mr. Butts? Well, everybody just calm down, okay? I mean, it was real foggy that night. I'm not sure whether there was a boat out there or not. No, okay, no problem. That's just the most important part of this case. So after I heard the single gunshot, I went home. So you only heard one bang, correct? Yeah. Well, Nick? It was pretty wishy-washy testimony, wasn't it? I guess I should just start working on the contradictions. Sorry. I wish I could be more helpful. I wish I could call my sister. Looking for something? Slipped the boat back in the rental shop dock. Going home, I heard a bang. Look over the lake, I didn't see a boat. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. Well, that's interesting, considering that Lotta heard two, right? So, I think this is what we need to show. Wait a second, Larry. What? You only heard one bang? You're sure? That's what I said. But Miss Lotta Hart testified yesterday that she heard two bangs. And the old man just now said the same thing. They both heard two gunshots that night. Huh? Were you even listening? Were you paying attention at all what they said? Yo, Nick, please! Huh? You know, something's been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? I'm like a customer here. So you gotta treat me nice and stuff, okay? No.
Mr. Butts.
What?
You only heard one gunshot. Are you sure?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure.
Eh?
Not sure? How could you not be sure? Yeah, well, I might have missed the other gunshot. I was listening to something else. Something else? My radio, dude, with my headphones. Oh no, he has AirPods on. He couldn't hear the other gunshot.
Order, order. Stop that booing. Mr. Butts, you were listening to the radio with your headphones.
Yeah, so what? That a crime? I listen to my radio. Everybody listens to the radio. What's the big deal?
Mr. Von Keimer, your opinion? Waste of time. I do not accept this witness nor his shoddy testimony.
Well, Mr. Wright, should you continue the testimony? Your Honor, please allow the witness to continue his testimony.
Bah. Nothing is more pitiful than a lawyer who doesn't know when he's lost.
Very well, Mr. Butts. Please give your testimony. Be sure to include details like your radio. Right, leave it to me. I wouldn't if there were any other way out of this, believe me. Oh, it's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio, see? I was listening to real booming loud, like, but I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it too.
You were listening to your radio at a high volume.
Yeah, what's the big problem? Can't a man listen to his radio in peace? Isn't this a free country? I truly believe Larry has no idea what the problem here is.
Judge, can you believe a word this witness says? What you heard was probably nothing more than a drum beat from the radio.
True enough, it is difficult to believe this testimony.
Wait, Your Honor. The witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshot.
Excuse me? DJ?
An announcer. The guy who says things on the radio? Like a Twitch streamer? Anyway. What this means is when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so he could have only heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor.
Very well, Mr. Wright.
I can't believe I'm continuing this charade. Oh, we're gonna... This is what it's all about. This is what all Phoenix Wright is all about. Just grabbing on this one small thing, and maybe we can make through this. So, on Christmas Eve. So you turn on the radio. Right. I just wanted to hear someone's voice, you know? I don't know what it's like out there alone on Christmas Eve alone. I shouldn't have said anything. So, question on radio. Do you by any chance remember the name of the program you were listening to?
This has nothing to do with the case, Your Honor.
Objection sustained. The witness was listening to the radio. That's all we need to know. Tell us, Mr. Butts, how loud was the radio that night? It ain't real booming loud. Real booming loud. Yeah, you know. And you had headphones on. Yep.
I wouldn't think you could hear anything going on outside at all.
No, that's not true. I mean, a gunshot is like very, very, very loud. It's like comparable to like a jet engine, you know? Flying at top speed. So it's kind of like that would like break through your headphones unless your headphones like, I don't know, like can like super soundproof or something. I don't know. Maybe the Phoenix Wright universe does have like soundproof headphones, you know, that strong. You know, it's why, like, for example, when you shoot a gun, for example, in real life, like at a gun range or whatever, that's why people always wear those like ear protection, you know, headphones, because otherwise you would like rupture your eardrums, because that's how loud a gunshot is. Anyway, can you prove that?
No, of course you can't.
I can't prove it, but I remember that moment real clear. I mean, while I was talking about it, it came back real clear to me, you know? Heard the gunshot and the DJ was saying something. Well, what did she say?
Mr. Wright, please cease these pointless questions. What possible good can the knowing what the radio DJ said do us?
Indeed, Mr. Von Karma has a point. I'll allow the question only if you see some reason why we should care.
I think we should, because didn't Larry say something about how he didn't know exactly when the gunshot, you know, took place? Maybe the DJ saying something would help. And also, I guess, you know, if the DJ was saying something, that would also mean that he would hear the gunshot maybe when the DJ was talking, something like that. I don't know, we should care. But we should care, Your Honor, of course we should.
Why?
Well, how do you know if we don't ask, Fine, very well. Mr. Butts, please testify to the court. What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshot? Oh, just when she said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas, I heard the gunshot." Yeah, that's interesting. Almost Christmas. Are you sure? Of course I am. She had this real sexy voice. Maybe Von Karma's right. I'm not sure how that helped us at all. This is the most ludicrous testimony I've ever heard. There's one gleaming ray of hope in there. We gotta press it until we get to the bottom of what happened. Anything to present? It's after midnight. Shots. What do we? I think Phoenix was saying about something about you need to press it. What do you mean press it? Press this? Pressing the same things? I already pressed that. I'm just going through, I don't know, I'm just pressing the same statements again, because that's what Phoenix said. I'm not sure if we should do that. Can I press it again? Gotta press it until we get to the bottom of this. I don't know. One gleaming ray of hope. It's almost Christmas. Almost Christmas. Maybe I need to, yeah, maybe I do need to present something. Almost Christmas. Oh, hello, Kiluin in chat. You don't know what this game is? Well, I mean, you're in the middle of it, but basically, it's about being a lawyer, finding contradictions, and trying to get your defendant from being declared guilty. Right now, I guess, I'm just trying to figure out what exactly is wrong with this testimony. That's generally what you need to do. It's almost Christmas. Almost Christmas. So it's not Christmas yet. So the murder took place around 24th or 25th. Right? That's what the autopsy also says. 24th or 25th. Generally, I believe when the gunshot took place, it was after. So it was after Christmas, not before, right? The 25th apparently is Christmas time. 24th was not Christmas time, so I think this is a contradiction. How did I pronounce your username? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Cleune. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a weird name. Anyway, I guess we need to present this evidence. Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct? Huh? What's with the face? You look scary, dude. If you're trying to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easy. Is something the matter, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, did you hear what the witness just said? DJ say, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," when he heard the gunshot. Indeed, and almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Do you realize what this means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve. That would seem to be the case, yes. But that contradicts the two testimonies we heard so far, Your Honor. Both Miss Hart and the old man said it was after midnight when they heard the shots. In other words, when they heard the gunshots, it was already Christmas. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor. Order. What does this mean? The two prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says he heard a gunshot before midnight.
Judge, the answer is simple.
This guy is scary? Well, I imagine Von Karma's pretty scary, yeah.
The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him. Suspicious.
What?
Well, Mr. Wright,
what do you think about Mr. Butt's claim he heard the gunshot before midnight? Well, we have to say, yeah, he's gotta be right, otherwise we don't have a case, so... Larry's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard that gunshot before midnight. It's rude to point. Well, you got a point. You got a point for dramatic tension.
Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim. Show me evidence there was a gunshot before midnight, finger snap.
Show me evidence that there was a gunshot before midnight. I think I do. I've been saying this whole time, it's weird that there's been a gun shooting 3 times. Right? But then again, that doesn't prove that it was shot before midnight. It could have been shot like afterwards. But there is this. An empty lake. Taken at December 24th at 11:50 p.m. This is before midnight. This is what Lada gave us. You know? The first photo she took, I guess, technically? Maybe? I think, yeah, this is evidence we need to show. Look at this photograph. This was taken by a witness yesterday, Miss Lada Hart, with her automatic camera. The timestamp on the photo reads December 24th, 11:50 p.m. Oh? But there's nothing on the lake in this picture. Your Honor, the real issue here is not why nothing is shown in this photograph. It is why this photograph exists at all. What do you mean? Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. That camera was set to go off in response to loud noises. Correct. There was a loud noise on the lake at 11:50 p.m. That is why this photograph was taken. In other words, when Larry heard that gunshot, it was most definitely still Christmas Eve. Indeed, it would seem that it is the case. Then, where does that leave us? Miss Hart testified that she heard gunshots after midnight. Are you claiming she was mistaken? Not at all, Your Honor. It is the fact that the camera also triggered at 15 minutes after midnight. Your Honor, that night, there were 2 sets of gunshots, with a 25-minute pause between them. Again, that would explain why there was 3 shots coming out of the gun, right, in the court record. That's what it says. The murder weapon fired 3 times. Why would this be?
Don't be fooled, Judge. The camera was set to respond to loud noises.
Yes?
There's no proof that the loud noise at 11:50 was a gunshot. Why, the witness could have sneezed, triggering the camera.
Hey, my nose was clear that night, man. Clear.
Well, Mr. Wright,
there's no turning back now. Can you prove that the loud noise at 11:50 p.m. was indeed a gunshot? Please show the court evidence if you have any. If my intuition is correct, we need to show this, the fact that it has been fired 3 times. 2 shots have been accounted for, but not the 3rd one. So, maybe there was 1 shot that took place at 11:50 p.m., as shown by this photo. Even though it shows nothing, it shows that at least something happened. So it might have been the bullet, right, coming out of the gun, or being shot or whatever. This is my evidence. The murder weapon. Something about this pistol was bothering me, Your Honor. Both of the witnesses who testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. When, then, was the last shot fired? Only now have I realized the truth. That 3rd shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight. Which is technically the 1st shot. You know, it's not the 3rd shot, it's the 1st shot. Order. That would make sense with the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen that night on the lake.
Exactly. If this is true, there were 2 sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50, another at 15 minutes after midnight. Why, I ask you, why?
Uh-oh, I better think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshots separate by 25 minutes. What's wrong, Nick? I have it! I have it! Huh? Remember the case with the Steel Samurai? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, of course I remember. The murderer in this case had the same idea as the murderer in that case. What do you mean? Maya. Yes? If we don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edgeworth's guilty verdict. I've got a hunch. I'm gonna run with it. Right, I mean, is it safe? Safe? We've already gotten a guilty verdict. We have nothing to lose. You just watch and let me know if I say anything that sounds fishy, okay? Right, Nick. Yeah, everyone's just screaming, I guess. Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright? The testimony just now has cleared up this entire case.
What do you mean, Mr. Wright? Tisk, tisk, tisk. So you finally realize the truth? There can be no other murderer here than Miles Edgeworth himself.
Wrong, Von Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting.
Listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts.
Okay. Alright.
At the time of the murder, one boat was on that lake. This was shown by the witness's photograph. The defendant Edgeworth and the victim Robert Hammond were on that boat.
Kablam.
There was a gunshot fired on that boat and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter. It couldn't have been suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be the other man on that boat.
I admit it is hard to imagine any other possibility. Well, yes, but this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright?
We have photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. The timestamp on the photo says 15 or 0015. But Larry heard a gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot on the lake. That's the only way that Edgeworth could be innocent.
Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who the two men on the boat are.
Okay, let's think about this. Phoenix mentioned that what's happening here is similar to the case we had before, the Steel Samurai. What happened in that case was the fact that the victim didn't die at the scene of the crime, the initial scene of the crime, but rather his body was found there, and actually he was killed somewhere else. So assuming Hammond was killed somewhere else and his body is not on this boat, then we only have the process of elimination. There's Edgeworth and somebody else. We can only assume there's Edgeworth, because we found him on the boat, and an unknown factor. So that can only mean Edgeworth and apparently the murderer? Maybe? Of course, it was Edgeworth and the murderer. Does this game have an anime? Actually, I think it does. I think it has anime and I believe a live action movie, if I remember correctly. I think so. I never really watched those though. I only really played the games. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Mr. Hammond and met Edgeworth.
What? Are you serious?
Yes, Edgeworth won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, Edgeworth didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place.
I'm not sure what to make of all this. Ludicrous.
Mr. Wright, tell us the name of the murderer then. The murderer's name? Right, it's... Well, Miles Edgeworth, that makes no sense. Lotta Hart? Lotta Hart's testimony shows that she has an alibi, so I don't think we actually know. It's somebody we don't really know. Did you play Danganronpa? Yeah, I did actually. I played the first one and the second one. I still haven't played the third one, which is like, I don't know, it's like the third one is not really a direct continuation of the first and second games, I think. So people say like it's not that great, but well, I don't know, maybe I'll play it eventually. But anyway, murderer. We don't know. Actually, I don't know the murderer's name. You don't know?
Bah, again, you waste my time.
I don't know because he never told us. The murderer is the caretaker of the shop, that old man. Really? I'm surprised. At 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond.
The caretaker of the boat shop?
Where did he do this?
There weren't any boats in the lake then.
Why would he have to go all the way out on the lake just to shoot someone? Might I suggest that the real scene of this crime was not on the boat?
What? Well then, where did the murder take place?
Show the judge where the murder really took place. I mean, I can only assume here? In the boat shop? Right? Because I mean, yeah, Phoenix points out a real, like, a real point. Like, why would you go all the way out here in the lake just to shoot someone? You know, that makes no sense. And in fact, we got a photo at 11:50 p.m. of a camera taking a picture of the lake where there's no one there. So there has to be somewhere that's not the lake, and we're suspecting the boat shop owner, so we can only assume maybe it took place here. Right? Maybe? I'm gonna guess. Here, of course, the boat shop, where he lives. That way he could meet with the victim without anyone seeing.
Do you have proof that the boat shop was the scene of the crime?
Recall Larry's testimony, if you will. Little boat animation there. That night he was out on the lake in the boat, searching for something. He finds it and returns the boat. Then, just as he's starting to head for home, he hears a gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor. Even though he was wearing headphones at the time, even though he was wearing AirPods. In other words, the gunshot was very, very close by. And where would that be if he had just returned a boat? The boat shop.
Mr. Wright, what happened that night on Gourd Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning.
Yes, Your Honor. Nick, are you sure about this? Not really. But I think if I start at the very beginning, and I take it slow, I might just be able to figure this out. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop. Okay. Polly's there. But man, it was around 11:50. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put on Robert Hammond's coat. He became Robert Hammond. Then he got on the boat with Edgeworth and went out in the middle of the lake.
Then who fired the pistol in the boat, Mr. Wright?
I assume the caretaker, because he's the one with the gun, right? Of course, it was the murderer who shot the pistol. Look at Edgeworth, he's so surprised. He shot twice, both missed Edgeworth on purpose. Wait a minute. Yes? Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone? Details.
Know this, Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanations is the moment you lose. Tell us why the murderer had to fire it twice.
I mean, because the first shot missed, that makes no sense. To create a witness? From Lotta Heart, maybe? I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor. Create a witness? The murderer lifts his pistols and fires one shot. That ensures that anyone who heard the shot will look at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly that after hearing the first gunshot. Next, the murderer waits a bit and fires again. Then, the murderer jumps from the boat himself, leaving the pistol in the boat behind him.
I see. To someone looking from the edge of the lake, it would appear that one of the men in the boat has shot the other.
The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. Okay. That's why he shot twice to draw attention to the boat. Once you realize that, everything else falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to his shop. He was an incredible swimmer. Then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body, and threw the body into the lake. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired that night on Gourd Lake.
Bailiff, bring out the witness from before. The boat shop caretaker, quickly.
Very well. While we were waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant Miles Edgeworth a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. Okay. I hear some testimony from Edgeworth, maybe? Mr. Edgeworth, you heard what the defense has said. Yes. Well, why did you go to the lake that night? What Wright was said was mostly correct. Astonishingly, I can't say words. Astonishingly so, actually. Yes. Several days ago, I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come to the boat shop by the lake at midnight on Christmas Eve. He said he has something very important to discuss with me. Something important? I'm sorry, I can't say what it was. Your Honor, sir. Bailiff, we are conducting a trial here. I ask that you remain quiet. The witness has disappeared. He isn't at the boat shop either. Oh no. What? What should I do? Find him quickly. We cannot allow him to get away. Oh, he's missing. The crazy old man. Crazy old murderer, maybe. Mr. Von Karma, your witness has disappeared.
A search warrant has already been issued.
It goes without saying that I could not declare a verdict under these circumstances. I will extend the trial until tomorrow, the final day allowed. Yeah, because normally it's like 3 days, but I guess it's a 4th day as an exception. I request that the police department utilize all its forces to find that witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is that boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important in this trial. I want him, and I want to know who he is. Very well. Court is adjourned. Yay, Nick, you did it! Oh, yeah. Well, at least we got out from under that guilty verdict. And what about Larry? That was something else. Even Von Karma didn't know what to do with his testimony. Larry really helped us out. Oh sure, once I sifted through his unique testimony. Still, he did save us. Saved our skins. I just wish our cases weren't so down to the wire all the time. I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on trial instead of our clients. Hey, Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth?
Did you say something?
Don't look so pained. I mean, it looks like you're probably going to get off the hook. You could try to smile just a little. Relax.
I'm sorry, but I fear it's not over for me yet.
What do you mean?
Right. There's something that's been troubling me for a long time now, and I don't know whether or not to tell you.
Edgeworth?
No, there's so little time left. I want to tell you to get off my chest, but I can't make up my mind.
What is this all about, Edgeworth?
It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed.
A crime you committed?
A memory of a murder.
Murder? But what murder? This murder? Were you the killer all along? I don't know. What's going on? Now we're gonna save.